I would have said in the realm of common sense is that the authorizing committee should be allowed to authorize. I would have said in the realm of common sense would have been that if we have a committee that's functioning, we should allow that committee to function. I would have said in the realm of common sense would be if the committee chairman supports it and the committee subcommittee chairman supports it, that perhaps we should have had a hearing where we at least talked about it. I ask you, Mr. Chairman, when 80% of the TIFIA money goes to only 10 states, what impact does this have on smaller states? I would yield to anyone who knows, but we don't know because this isn't the authorizing committee. The Cardinal is absolutely right. He provided additional money in CIG dollars this year. But when there are projects on the horizon that would by themselves as a single project, Mr. Speaker, consume not 1 year's worth of funding, not 2 years' worth of funding, but 3 years' worth of funding, leaving nothing for any other projects in the nation, what's the impact of having a mandatory authorization? I see my friend the chairman at the desk, and I love working with my friend the chairman in the committee. From his dear colleague that he and Eleanor Holmes Norton sent last year, he pointed out to exactly what I'm concerned about today, Mr. Chairman. He said, as you know, the CIG program's statutory language is not like a typical discretionary grant program. It is a pipeline program where eligible projects that meet statutory criteria are funded subject only to continuing appropriations. The may language, my friend from North Carolina cited, rather than shall language, is included specifically because there is no discretion to prevent the large project from sucking all of the money out of the funding stream. I have that concern, and I would love to be able to share that concern and talk about that concern in the Committee of Jurisdiction. Again, commit to work with any member who wants to move such language forward. I reserve. My friend from Oregon, when he talked about rotten politics and those motivations, wasn't talking about me. I know that he was not. If he had been, we would have taken that conversation a different direction. I know that he was not because my concern is sincere. The fact that so much of that conversation centered on the White House does make me wonder whether or not politics is at play here. But to have the authorizing chairman say on the floor of the House that there's no statutory difference between the Secretary may and the Secretary shall is the most shocking thing I've heard in 2019. It's the definition of a categorical difference. We put may in there for a reason, and that's to prevent a perversion of the process, the perversion that I am concerned about, the perversion that my friend from Oregon could dismiss if only we would hold a hearing in the committee and allow me to hear from some experts about it. My concern is sincere, and the concern of communities in my state is sincere. And there's a reason the House rules prohibit doing this on the House floor, because our shared concerns are sincere. Mr. Chairman, I urge support of the amendment.